get as much publicity as we can. Well, I'm getting off unemployment so I can start promoting.
Welcome everybody to the WTF show. Guess who's in the house all the time, boy? She's always got a show planned for you, and it is not just a simple show. It's one of those WTF shows, okay? Hi, Rhonda.
Hey, Henry. Happy New Year. I haven't seen you since the end of December.
Yeah,
so.
I made me some New Year's resolutions.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let me tell you, just real quick. I'm not having no New Year's resolutions.
Oh, that's it. Well, you know what? On the radio feed, I'm playing all 80s music because the last time I actually kept even one New Year's resolution was 1980.
Oh,
I quit smoking. That was it.
You smoked?
I did until 1980.
Oh, my gosh,
yeah.
bless you, my dear. It
Yeah.
didn't hurt you.
Didn't hurt me at all. I got a little fine lines and wrinkles, I think. Okay. Something's got to age you.
You know, every watch people smoke, they always light it up and go, like if it's so tasty.
Well, I think it is. I hope I live long enough to, it'd be really wonderful if we knew kind of when we were going to die so that we could do things that you can't do until you're, like eat bacon, smoke cigarettes. I probably do that. Eat bacon, smoke a ton of pot,
Oh, see what the shirt says?
What's it say? Oh, there you go. Make history.
I'm making
Make
history.
But
Somebody just said that. Nice shirt.
that's good. See, great. Nice shirt.
How do they spell
before
nice shit?
Nice shit. No, they said
No,
shirt.
nice shirt.
Oh, okay. God,
bad.
Henry, this is a bad.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep it,
I'm with
maybe PG-13 rated. Before we started, there's some folks on the international camera.
Let me refresh that because
Let's
that's
take a
still
look
coming
at it
off
and
of-
see who's up there.
It's still coming off of my show, but this is your show now.
This is my show now. That's right. So let's see if we can say hi to some people in Japan,
San Fran, of
Canada,
course.
San Francisco, Israel,
Oh, look at that one.
Spain. Wow.
My bean. Ho, 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 ho,
And you know
ho.
what I want to say? We usually have about 10,000 people or so, maybe 11, that tune in internationally to the show. And I'm sorry, I'm going to make a political moment as we start the show. And I'm going to say that I am very sorry that our president.
Yours, not mine.
No,
This is
that
some
man in
dude.
the White House.
He's not a man.
Well, I'm going to say that referred to you or any country in a disparaging way, especially under developing countries who want nothing more than to achieve the goals that we've been so fortunate to be born into in this country. So
Maybe you.
not all.
I wasn't afforded that. I know. maybe
Just
you.
being born here is lucky. Let me tell you. Just being born in the United
Was
States.
I crossed the border? I come.
Well, just sneaking in is lucky. Like
I'll get
Henry.
shot.
But anyway, I just want to say that we appreciate you tuning in and listening, and not all Americans are ignorant and idiots like our president. Okay. Now,
Your president.
yeah. And we'll get rid of it.
Bad. You didn't expect
we'll
me to
get rid of
start saying your president.
We're going to get rid of that son of a bitch. Okay.
She's not referring
Now, the
to me.
next thing. Moving on. And I've got some fun news today. So I thought I'd start out with a little bit of fake news, and then we can talk a little bit about some conspiracy theories that we think are going to move forward in the year, and some New Year's resolutions that are kind of funny. And I pulled some off of Twitter. So I'm going to look for
That's
my
not Trump's Twitter, is it?
No, God, no. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
He's a twatter.
Twitter.
I didn't say that, did I?
No.
Whoops. Oops, I made a boo-boo. I said a
I
bad
like
word.
that. Oops. I use that a lot. Oops.
I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, let me see if I can find those crazy New Year's. Here they are. So I pulled these from some Twitter feeds, and they're just amazing. So this one is from The Sassy Drunk. My New Year's resolution is to love myself more than Kanye loves himself.
Oh, God.
And to believe in myself like Kanye believes in himself. That's good, isn't it? I love that one. And here's another one from Ari Scott. New Year's resolution, 1998. Get signed to a record label and become a star. 2008. Get on a UCB team and become a star. 2018. Not starve or die. So now that's working out for Ari. Lou in New York. My New Year's resolution is to drink more than I did in 2017. I think I like that guy. Jake, this is a great one, Henry. You're going to relate to this. My New Year's resolution is not to put myself in situations where I puke.
Jesus.
And this is from Liv. Already started on my New Year's resolution. She has a similar one to you. Just give up. It's working out. So did you set any New Year's resolutions for yourself?
Actually, no.
Me either.
I don't believe in it. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not.
I saw a meme that was great, and it was, I'm going to be the same. No, see, I'm not going to do any New Year's resolutions because no one likes a skinny bitch.
Jeez. And that's real, you know what I mean?
No one likes a skinny bitch, so I'm not doing it. No. But anyway, no, I didn't really set any. I actually, what I try to do is take stock in my life every year and say, well, maybe I want to do a little more of this. I try not to say I'm going to do less of something because I'm kind of happy with the things that I do. I have fun.
Tell us what you do. You know, I see all the time coming down the mountain in the blizzard conditions.
I was skiing yesterday. Yeah, it was a whiteout. It was about, I don't know, it wasn't too bad. It was only about -9, and it was a whiteout up at Loveland, and the powder was about knee deep. So it was awesome. It was awesome powder. Some parts were deeper, but I wasn't skiing over there, and it was like floating on air. It was just absolutely beautiful.
And everybody says, Rhonda, how do you go out there and ski like that? And, you know, in those weather conditions, how'd you get up there?
Well, we drove up. I mean, I have 4-wheel drive, so my ski partner and I drove up.
And the snow and blizzard conditions,
no,
whiteouts,
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Wrecks and jackknifes of
just slow.
Semis don't get in your way.
Well, they could, but they didn't.
What did you do? You pull out the snowmobile.
So we drove up and we started skiing pretty early, and we left early so we didn't get in some of that crazy traffic. And it snowed down. It was really beautiful in Denver. So, you know, once you got past about Georgetown, you really didn't have to worry about the roads. They weren't bad.
Nobody was up there except you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's one good thing. If you ski at Loveland and you love to ski and you ski at Loveland, it's got the best snow, I believe.
Yeah, just go straight up north, come up west,
right now,
and then go up the mountain. You're there.
You're there. It's 45 minutes from the Ward Road exit to the parking lot. And the interesting thing about Loveland is it's the parking lot of Loveland is higher than the top of Vail Pass. So it's a very high ski area. Many of the trails are above timberline, and it's always cold and windy. So, you know, a lot of people don't want to go there, but which is great for me because you
know what I thought you were going to say. The nice thing about Loveland is sending your Valentine's there to Loveland, get the postmark.
That's a different Loveland.
Yeah, is it?
That's the one that's up the road, Loveland, Colorado.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, this is Loveland ski area, and I've been skiing there for 50 years. And
I was thinking all this love stuff and roses and flowers and cards and I love you this, I love you that.
No. So I've been skiing Loveland for about 50 years, and the things that typically, if it's a bad snow year, Loveland's got the best snow in the area.
Yeah. See.
And if it's a good snow year, it's got amazing snow, and so I'm a big fan of it, and it's fun. And
so you don't get no Loveland?
I've been up 8 times.
You don't get no Loveland cards from Loveland?
I do sometimes, you know, from all my fans. Ha ha.
Yeah, it's like this one. We got in the mail from this one gentleman that really likes her, and he says, "Dear Rhonda, I just love the way you do your show. It's so hot. You're so hot. And on Valentine's Day, I'm going to send you something you're going to love, and it's hot."
I think it's a tamale. It's a tamale. That's what I want.
Tamale.
What a hot tamale. All these. Now you've got some really cool stuff coming up, don't we? That we're part of.
Yes.
Why don't you tell about that?
This one right here is coming up on Valentine's Day. If you want to take your sweetheart anywhere, Johnny Hernandez, Greystone Castle, Cipriano, Mary Enterprise, along with KUHSdenver.com, is presenting the Tejano Legends, and that's going to be with Angel Alvarado and Los Latin Boys right up the street. And you just tell them that KUHS and the Tejano Legends is why you're there, and then you get your room relatively cheap, so you don't have to.
And let me tell you something. There's nothing like Latin lovers, so I would go up there and attend that event and have fun. Good time.
And you're welcome to come because you are invited.
Yep, and Los Latin Boys are great.
Yeah, you've heard them.
Yeah, they're excellent. They're excellent. So anyway,
so you're gonna be there?
You know, I think I might.
Do you like to dance?
I love to dance. I love to. My husband likes to dance too, and he's actually really good, which is amazing.
You guys close dance?
Well, you know,
just kind of boogie, or
it just depends how mad I am at him.
Stay over there and don't.
Sometimes we're this far apart, and sometimes you can't get a whisper between us. It just depends. So what I was going to do is I want to talk about this crazy news story that I picked up. So I thought we'd do some international news in light of the fact that we're so good internationally lately in our country. So I thought maybe we'd bring in some international news.
The reason I was looking down, I seen this whole dissertation, a doctoral dissertation, come up there.
What was it? Oh, I can't read that part. What's it say?
It says, this government needs abolishing. They are not protecting the United States of America's Constitution. Not only is the current government's ideologies against America's democracy and what we stand for as Americans, they are defiant toward democracy.
Absolutely.
And it says, see more. But I can't read that whole dissertation. That's a doctoral dissertation on comments. We can only say hi.
Henry's not that smart.
No.
But so if you want to say something about the administration, just say it sucks and send it to Henry. He'll get that. No, that was really good.
That was really good too.
Hey, it stinks. No.
Yeah,
All right.
stinks.
Anyway, this is really important news. It's in Vancouver, Canada. You know,
Oh, and we got Vancouver, Canada.
Get some people from Vancouver on. This is some news I picked up out of Vancouver. It's from
Yeah.
the Beaverton.com, and it says after 10 years as Vancouver's mayor, Gregory Robertson has announced that he will not run for re-election because he can't afford to live in the city anymore. I love Vancouver, and serving it as mayor has been the greatest privilege of my life, Robertson said in a press release. But unfortunately, the side effects of my success in making it in Vancouver into a world-class cultural and commerce city is that I'm not financially able to live here anymore. I'm not rich, just a regular millionaire. My annual salary is $165,000 a year, barely covers the cost of parking in Vancouver. Does it remind you of Denver? I'm reading this because this is what's happening in Denver. Robertson plans a departure from Vancouver, which is the highest cost of living in Canada, is the most recent example of an exodus of non-moneyed people from that city. Now this is from the Beaverton, and it is a satirical paper, folks, so please know that. It's bad enough that this is the best quote of the article. It's bad enough that we can't find regular servants anymore, and now we're losing our civil servants too, said local billionaire advocate Timmy Getty. I just hope that our next mayor is someone who realizes that a city like Vancouver needs a robust, settled underclass if the wealthy are going to thrive.
Now you're going to keep me as you're a servant at your home, right?
Yeah,
I get to keep doing the gardens and shit, right?
Yeah, right. That's it. But I mean, this. You know, I'm reading this because it does relate to Denver. I mean, we're going through a tremendous cost of living.
You think so?
Thing. Oh, yeah. I mean, try to buy a house or an apartment or anything here.
You can. It's easy.
Oh,
sure you can.
Oh,
If
maybe
you come here with a lot of money.
Rich station owner.
No, if you come here with a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. If you come here from Vancouver, we're going to be cheap.
That's what I'm saying.
So all you folks in Canada, except here's the problem: no health care, no free college. No, so the houses might be cheap, but you'll lose it all there.
That's right, and healthcare, right?
And health, yeah.
It's like it's $1,000 for a single person, and then it's 10,000 deductible, and then every time you visit the doctor, it's $50, and then there's the deductible.
Let's just fix that. Let's quit talking about other countries and fix ours like that.
Well, you've got
Fix
the
healthcare.
buffoon, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
sorry.
let's talk about Norway. Because
Bad-
didn't he say he wanted more people from Norway? That's
That
just,
was-
I'm moving right into that. You know why there's no more people from Norway? Because they have a better standard of living than us.
They looked
We're,
at us,
we're a
"We're going to
shithole
the-"
compared to Norway, folks. So, you know, it's like you're in Norway, you got a higher standard of living, you got free health care. It was voted the
Now,
least
I
stressful
was in the
country in the world.
restroom.
Nobody from Norway
I
wants
was
to
in the
come
restroom
here.
like this, and I heard the news go on, and it was Trump talking about the shithole. And I thought, how does he know I'm in here?
Yeah, you go to the toilet. Oh, God.
Sorry.
It's bad. I'm sorry. I really was good. I broke my only New Year's resolution was that it wasn't going to be so political. But when I heard the word referring to underdeveloped countries and to countries who are struggling, when I heard him call them shitholes, it just
Really?
it's beyond.
We need to take
comprehension to
him
me.
and
It
go
really
put
is.
him in a third world country with no money and just see how well he survives.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just think that
They would think he's a pig and then cook him over an open fire.
they kill him. But the problem is
That was
the
bad, right?
insensitivity of that remark. And
The one I just said?
yeah, no, yeah, well, you're always insensitive. And I feel like I can't believe that we've heard a president of the United States refer to countries like that when we depend on them, like we said, we have army bases over there. And let's not forget how much we've raped their land and taken ivory and taken gold and taken the things out of that land that if they were still there, they might not be in the condition that they're in.
It looks like she did scale it back for me. It sucks big time. Thank you.
There you go. So anyway, I just my heart just breaks to hear the leader of the free world refer to countries like that.
He's not a leader, and he's not.
He's leading some people.
Who?
I mean,
Ivana?
He's leading people by the path of righteousness, right?
Oh my gosh, where did you dream this stuff up at? That's instantaneous.
But right, he is. Okay. So I just think he's a great example of a Christian, and I'm really, well, he is, isn't he? I mean, let's see, what has he done?
What has he done? And then you put all your fingers down. What has he done?
No, I mean, he's referred to those countries, as shitholes.
Mhm.
He's
Gonna grab women by the
you know what? Yep. He
But in Spanish.
that he's had 3 wives. His
hates-
current wife posed naked on a
Oh, she does.
magazine.
Where? Let me go look
it's
this
a
up.
beautiful picture.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
my
at?
husband was really jealous of you. And I'm not picking on her because I do think that we need to leave her alone. But she was a nude model. I mean, it's just part of life, right? Let's see. He said the people were okay. That some good people were part of the marches in Charlottesville, and
all those rapists.
right.
And
So I think he's just like Jesus.
You think?
I really do. He's just exactly. Isn't that what Jesus would do?
Wow.
I mean, Trump, Jesus can't tell them apart. You know. I'll tell you right now, I'm so disgusted with him. I can't even begin to praise it. So we're going to move forward though, because we're not going to spend the whole show complaining about him. We're going to talk about, this is a big important news story that came in, and we're going to talk about mating season. Okay, of the Yeti, the mating season of the Yeti. It's the wildlife experts are warning hikers and skiers and snowmobilers that we have entered into the most active period of Yeti mating season, and the forested areas are no longer safe for humans. That's right. You better not go out there because you may run into 2 Yetis trying to get it on. During breeding season, Yetis are known to display aggressive behavior towards humans, including but not limited to biting, mauling, sobbing uncontrollably while holding a human in a bear hug, and drunkenly ranting about their ex. If you come across a Yeti mating activity, it's important not to panic. An expert in this said what you should do is never enter the woods this time of year without having at least one George Michael song on your phone.
Oh.
And you set your speaker to maximum, and you throw the phone as far as you can so the Yeti will chase the music, because, like any warm-blooded mammal, during mating season, it's going to go towards George Michael songs. And then you run like hell. But the other thing is, he also cautions us that if you do get your phone back, be careful, because there could be some really disturbing photos on it.
Oh my gosh. Yeti's getting it on.
Well, people think Yetis are real, as part of conspiracy.
Well, I was really believing you.
Yeah,
You mean they're not real?
Well,
So you're in here just telling me some stories, bedtime stories?
I'm just making it up. That actually came from, where did that come from? That came to Beaverton also. I like the Beaverton. It's really
Beaverton
good.
making up stories of Yetis getting
That's
it
fun.
on. Okay, where are we going with this?
Here's a great one. I want to find the conspiracy theory list that I had, because there's some really good ones for coming up for 2018. And here they are. And we'll go back to some fake news. These are the conspiracy theories that I think are going to continue to grow. We're going to talk about Bitcoin later, because that's the biggest conspiracy. That's the biggest WTF in the world. What the hell was up there? But we're going to save that for a little bit later. So we're going to skip that, and we're going to talk about the biggest conspiracy theories. Here's the top conspiracy theories that experts think will continue to grow and gather steam, and that morons will believe in 2018. Hillary Clinton will continue to amass a secret body count. One of the strangest conspiracy theories to surround the Clintons is Hillary's ability to bring people to their doom. The largest piece of conspiratorial puzzle is the murder of Seth Rich, the DNC staffer who was murdered in July of 2016, allegedly because he had something to do with the Wikipedia leaking of the DNC emails. Not only is this a conspiracy impossible to prove, but it's also one of the most out there theories that there is. And Fox News had to retract that story. They even got in on it, Despite being unprovable and far-fetched, the Hillary bringer of doom theory, bringer of doom Hillary, continues to grow in 2018, and a White House insider allegedly claimed that the Clintons were destroying new pieces of evidence because Donald Trump is preparing to prosecute them for their crimes. Even though none of this makes sense, especially the part about Donald Trump prosecuting someone. He's not doing that. It's a story that will continue to mutate and grow and get bigger and larger and bigger after, all year long. And even after the DOJ puts it to rest, it's going to keep growing, I think. Another theory that's going to continue to grow and multiply is the one that Donald Trump is mentally ill. And
well, that's true.
It's a theory right now.
It's not.
It's a theory right now.
No, would you theorize that that's true?
Listen, it's a theory until they prove that he's crazy.
All right. Judas Priest. Don't scare me.
It's a theory that Donald Trump is mentally ill and actually exists in multiple versions that play off each other. The theory actually exists in multiple versions, okay? And they play off each other depending on whatever side of the theory that you want to be on. So here's okay, you ready for this one? Okay. So either, you know, I don't know. It's just a crazy theory that he's crazy, and you know, some people think it's true, some people think it's not true. Crazy like a fox, some people say. So, you know, I don't know. So anyway, it persists in saying that Donald Trump is suffering from early stages of dementia, and that's why he's so gross and abrasive. After the mainstream media outlets picked up on this idea, people began to latch on it as truth.
Well,
And in
what do
reality,
you
there have
think?
been no. Well,
Come on, what do you tell
you
me
know,
really?
when it comes
I
to the,
think
I think he's an asshole. But when it comes to the,
I didn't ask that.
it's a different test though for that. But when it
What's
comes,
the test?
well, look at what he's doing. But when it comes to mentally ill, true mental illness, I don't believe that we're qualified to judge that, and I think that has to be judged by a doctor, and they need to say whether he is or isn't. He's got certainly has behaviors that are odd, but I do too, and so do you.
Well, on Instagram, I go by Dr. G Whiz, so I'm actually certified to determine if he's early signs of dementia. Yes.
How do you know? They have to have all
Look
kinds of
at
tests
him.
for that.
Can't even comb his hair right.
He's an asshole. He's not.
Okay, what are the way you determine he's an asshole?
He's a jerk to people.
Okay, that's number. You need at least 5.
Okay, he's a jerk to people.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bigot.
Yes.
He is
This is
a
the test of
misogynist.
being an asshole.
He's a misogynist.
Jesus.
No, right?
Go ahead, Ron.
He's a hippo-Christian.
Yeah. Okay,
Right?
one more, and
Oh,
you
what?
got. He's a.
One more, and he's a cheater on his wives.
Now that's a perfect asshole.
There you go.
He don't have no hemorrhoids. He's a perfect
But
asshole.
that doesn't mean he's crazy. And if we put cheating as a standard for the presidents of the United States, I believe there's only going to be 1 or 2 presidents.
Cheating or getting extra?
Well, I believe there's probably only 1 or 2 presidents that haven't cheated.
You mean get extra?
Yeah, get extra. Well, they're entitled, you know, because
Yeah.
they're rich and powerful
Yeah.
people. But I really don't think that if you're going to
Because
judge
like
him by that
Monica
standard,
Lewinsky, I mean,
if you're going to judge him by that standard, there isn't very many that are going to fit in there. I think maybe, and I'm not even sure, but maybe Jimmy Carter. He probably was a pretty faithful husband.
what about
I think
Obama?
George W. Bush
Barack Obama.
was good with Laura Bush. I didn't like his policies, but I
Well,
think
she
he was a
looked
good
like
man.
George Washington, didn't she? Oh, that's bad. I didn't say that.
Don't pick on Laura either. But I think that George W. Bush didn't. I don't believe he was
Barack
a cheater.
Obama.
Barack Obama. I don't believe he was a cheater. And I think outside of that,
George Washington.
yeah,
Now, is he really the father of your country?
they say he is.
No, look at him. He's wearing a ruffled blouse, a powdered wig,
He had
pedal
something like
pushers.
57
high heel-
illegitimate children.
Yeah, high heel shoes. That looks more like the mother of my country.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He had like
Christ.
57 or something. It was a ridiculous amount of illegitimate children, and so that he really, literally, is the father of our country.
Oh,
you know, like
Jesus.
1 in 4 people are related to him because he screwed everything and everybody that walked.
And after a while, he was going, "Bad, Dad, Dad." You know, come on.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. You know, I don't think there's very many presidents that were faithful. Eisenhower was not. He had a mistress that came out later. You know, Nixon, I don't know. I don't know about him. He was kind of ugly. I mean, he's lucky he got 1 wife, let alone, you know, get anybody else.
You missed your segment. That's okay.
Oh, gonna get back on it?
It's already on segment 2.
Oh no, we better stop.
Okay. So you can go on live if you want.
We're gonna go live right now. We're gonna take a break here and go live on the radio because we missed it. And hi, we're here with the hi Henry. We got screwed up, didn't we? We're gonna go live on the radio with our news, fake news coming up here, and we'll start our music segment over again once
We were having a good time.
we were chatting about all kinds of goofy things. So here's the news for today. In the wake of the International Olympic Committee's ban on Russian athletes, I'm going to put this, make sure it's right, okay, Russian athletes next year for doping, the Russian Federation announced it will return its focus to cheating in foreign elections. The Russian government says they might as well cut their losses since they lack an agreement with a powerful figure such as a rich xenophobe U.S. presidential candidate to reverse the ban. We may not get any gold medals in the Olympics, but we already have a gold medal in electoral interference, said the Pepe Yula Ivanovich, a former swimmer, while she was putting the finishing touches on a Nancy Pelosi is the Antichrist meme and preparing for the 2008 midterm elections in the United States. Here's the big news. This is big news. Bethany Hand told reporters Friday, this is in Norwich, Connecticut, that she could imagine spending her whole life in an uncomfortable silence with a man she was currently on a first date with. I know we just met, but there's something about Bill that makes me feel I could awkwardly sit with him in total quiet for the rest of my days, only intermittently making eye contact as we both wait for the other person to speak,
Boy.
said Hand. adding that she could easily envision herself anxiously passing time at his side without any communication whatsoever until they were both old and gray.
Oh, Jesus.
Occasionally uttering a small comment to break the excruciating tension just feels so natural with him. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but the moment I laid eyes on Bill, I sensed that he could be the man I have nothing at all to say to in sickness and health until until death do us part. At press times and after several minutes more of unbreakable wordlessness, Han was fully prepared to marry her date that very night.
Wow.
Okay, here's another one. This is a big one. This came in from heaven. I got news from heaven, folks. This is from heaven. It's from the Angel Post. God, sick of shutting all those doors and opening all those windows. God is reportedly growing tired of shutting multiple doors for humans and then being also asked to open corresponding windows. According to the Daily Angel Post, God stated that he is increasingly growing tired of the inane requests, including good weather for rollerblading, winning season for your favorite team, or please let there be enough butter in the refrigerator for me to make cookies. God stated, I can't be opening all these windows for all these people. That's impossible even for me. He also stated that he is sick of moving in mysterious ways and will and now plans to move more clearly and overtly. So folks, start praying for important stuff like world peace, health issues, personal financial stability, and quit praying for winning lottery tickets, sporting events, and cupcakes. Okay, that's all the fake news I'm going to do now. If you want to continue listening to more fake news and more discussion about the Bitcoin, you can flip over to the video side. Otherwise, let's get right back on and we'll kick off that segment. You're going to hear a repeat of a couple of things. I'm sorry about that. And
What? You only missed it by actually maybe 15 seconds.
I don't hear what's going on, so I should wear the headphones.
Well, no, you were fine. It was only 15 seconds. Okay. So you were fine, Rhonda.
Okay.
I mean, you're a total professional.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I missed it.
Well, for those who don't know Rhonda, she goes back to the KIMN radio station days, part of the Kim Chicken. Did you ever be asked to be the Kim Chicken when the guy couldn't make it? Did you ever get in the soup?
I did not get in the soup because it smelled.
You must.
No, actually, you couldn't be the Kim Chicken. He was so good at it. Jim, his name was Jim, and he could do backflips and all this stuff. He was a gymnast, and the man was fantastic. So you couldn't really come on in. You couldn't really. We got a guest coming in. Sit down, and you couldn't really fake it. Now we did have Chicken Little, his son, and who was hatched out of an egg at a Nuggets game. And so we would send Chicken Little sometimes, and we would send the chicken other times. But you couldn't replace him. He was wonderful. And then after Kim closed, he became the flea at the flea market for a while.
And then we're waiting for you to bring in some of the original.
I am planning on that. I'm hoping I can get a hold of it.
I've been telling a lot of people, and they've been waiting.
I'll get a few.
Even two or three.
Even one. Even Stu Evans. I'm going to see if Stu Evans.
You're bringing a lot of people yourself.
Yeah, I am trying to bring some folks in.
A lot of people listen to
I'm in touch with many of the guys, and so we'll see if they. That's the wrong thing to say. In touch with
yeah,
me. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll see if I can get some of them, to come in the studio and say hi or call in or something.
Anything. Yeah, and we can take them live behind us.
Oh yeah, they're wonderful guys. And when I worked at the radio station, I was the marketing and promotion manager there.
Not only that, part of Cool.
Well, yeah, we helped
Cool concerts.
Helped launch Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that group of people at Kim Radio with Paxton Mills, and we've had some great names work there: Steve Kelly, Paxton Mills, Randy J, Stu Evans,
all the big names,
Bob Carson. Yeah, we had
everybody turned on Kim in the morning before they got ready for school. They got their clear seal off from the night.
Stephen B, the Hawk, all these people worked there.
Their La Parrot hair arranger or whatever they put in there.
And they had the best bits, the most fun, and they're some of the most talented. Randy J, they were some of the most talented people that I ever had the opportunity to know, and it was crazy and fun, and it was every bit as crazy and fun as it sounded on the air in the studio and in the station.
It was like a big time live circus.
It was. That's what it was. It was great. So anyway, back to some of the conspiracy theories here. Let's talk about the Bitcoin. Let's talk about the Bitcoin. Anybody know
what is Bitcoin?
It's the dumbest thing.
Tell me about this Bitcoin thing. It floats in the virtual. It floats in the virtual network, I guess, and they do this and that, trading off. And if you find it out there, you make money, right?
Well, yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, here's what I know about the Bitcoin. I pulled up some stuff because what I thought I knew.
Isn't like you thought it was? It doesn't
kind
sound
of, but you know, it's just kind of weird. So it's a digital currency,
Mhm.
okay, and there's two kinds. There's virtual currency, and then there's this cryptocurrency, and one of them has a token, like when you're playing a video game, you get a little token that can win money. And so apparently people buy, and there's only so many manufacturers. So let's start out with this. It's not an unlimited supply. They say there's going to be, I don't know, let's say 10,000 Bitcoin. I'm just using that as a figure. 10,000 Bitcoins made this year, and that's it. And then people buy them for 10,000 each or whatever they're going to go for. And I don't know how they buy them, because if it's all virtual money, I guess they take their money out of the bank and they send it to some person.
African country.
No, I know. It's like they send it to the Mendez brothers who were behind bars and built the Bitcoin system. But I mean, it's like they send it somewhere, and it's all held in a pool, and then you have these coins that represent the money that you spent to have these fake coins, and the money system is not tied on any government.
No government,
no backing of any government,
no
nothing.
gold
There's
backing of a government.
And there's no rules, there's no regulations. Sounds like our country. No, there's no. But there's.
Well, ours has this fake Federal Reserve crap.
Well, yeah, but the gold system was gone.
And they put in this
silver.
Federal Reserve. What the hell?
There's no gold or silver backing our money. There
nothing.
hasn't been for decades.
It's a, what do they call it? It's a government note.
Yeah, really. IOU.
That's what it is.
I know.
You know, that's what it represents.
Okay. So anyway, we'll just, sure. Money is weird. I don't get money in general. Money's just weird. But anyway, so they have these Bitcoins, and then they do peer-to-peer networking. So like maybe I bought 25 Bitcoins and this other person has them, and I want something from him, and I'll pay him some Bitcoins, and then, blah, 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 until you amass these Bitcoins. I don't know quite how you get your money out of it. If anybody that's watching knows, let me know.
I put me in the eye.
Oh, you're poking the eye. But anyway, if anybody over there watching, I'm looking at the Facebook feed, knows anything about it, or how you sell them, or how do you get your money out? What if you all of a sudden have $10 million in Bitcoin money, and you want to take it out and go to Tahiti? How do I get it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and there's no regulation. And so most people, the cryptocurrency is on the market, but the Bitcoin is kind of like digital gold, and cryptocurrency is more like currency. And there's a finite supply. It's mined every year. They call it mined every year. And then by sophisticated software, you don't know who's behind it. Everything, you can't trace the transactions. So a lot of the black web and black market and sex trafficking and drugs and stuff, they can transfer money back and forth that way.
Or if you're a good hacker.
Yeah, maybe. And these people are pretty crazy that put this together. They probably know all that stuff. And then also countries that their currency is always going up and down in influx, like Venezuela and places like that. A lot of those people invest in Bitcoin. But the hype is because they're a decentralized system and they're not under the control of the government. And that's also the fear. I mean, what the freckle is going on with Bitcoin? Like, I'm sure I just could not put my money in something that you don't know who's behind it. It has no guarantee. It doesn't represent a government. They can change the rules anytime they want, any way they want. They can make it worth this much. They can make it worth that much. I don't know.
Are you talking about my household?
That's your wife.
That's your wife.
Same thing. Yeah, think of Bitcoin as a wife. We can change the rules anytime we want.
Hides the money. You don't know where it's going. You don't know how it got out of there. You try to get it back, it won't come back.
Yeah,
that's a Bitcoin.
That's a Bitcoin.
A big babe.
You collect little things and you can trade them in. Maybe. Maybe.
Good night. Good tonight. Is tonight? Tonight. No, you don't get to get fed tonight. You make your own.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, really? Anyway.
I knew I would get you on that one.
All right, you did. But so anyway, I don't know. It just seems so weird to me. So is there anybody commenting on it? Anybody commenting?
Let me refresh.
But so if you have something to say about Bitcoin, jump in, because it's odd. If you have one you want to send to me, I'd take it, but I wouldn't even know how to collect it. If it wants to send me a Bitcoin, I'm happy to receive a Bitcoin. But I don't know. Do anybody know how to get one? I don't. You could come up to me and say, here's $1 million Bitcoin. I'd be like, what? And I think it could be the precursor of the Antichrist. What do you think? The Bitcoin, where you have to have a stamp to have money and chips, and I don't know. Could be that. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Do you think everybody talks about this Antichrist? How about anti-Trump?
You're going back that way.
But really, I mean, how come everybody talks all this nasty shit about him, that he's the worst president doing all this bad stuff, nobody can get him out of there.
Well, it isn't an election yet. He is the elected
No,
president.
no, you don't. Okay,
Can't do anything
one
about that.
man gets, down there in the White House, and he's immediately impeached. Bless his heart, he should have at least deserved that.
Well,
This man-
he wasn't impeached for that. He was impeached for lying. And I did like
There's
Clinton,
the same.
but he was lying. and
Okay,
that's
so
what
who's lying?
and now it seems to be like you can do it without getting in trouble. But
So why can't? How come he's not impeached?
Because there's
Maybe we should send Monica Lewinsky back in there. What do you think?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, it'd be worth a
That's
try.
a good idea.
It'd be worth a try. But he was impeached for lying, and apparently the same
What
standards
was he lying
don't
about?
the affair with the intern, and also that's fraternization with an intern, and so those are two workplace things that are not cool. And
Fraternizing.
no matter how much you liked them or didn't like them,
I
those were
mean,
wrong.
that is one big $30 word, fraternizing.
Well, yes, it is. Isn't that a big $30 word?
For me, it is.
Right. You went to Regis. I know how smart you are. Those Regis people are all smart. But so he was. So there was a violation of work. You can't. I'm sure the government has those rules.
Okay, now if the Secret Service is always watching you, how do you get away with that?
Well, they don't watch you in personal moments.
Oh,
They don't.
The
They're not
president
like
said,
the king where they
"Excuse
used to
me."
have the guy where wiping his butt after he went to the
excuse
bathroom.
me, can you
know.
guys go in the other room? Why, Mr. President? Me and Monica have a few things to take care of.
They don't watch you.
What do you do? I mean, how do you get that done?
They stand outside the door.
Who?
The Secret Service. They're not in there watching you like whatever you're doing, your personal moment.
So, but how did he pull that off?
Well, she was working there, so they probably had her come in the office, and they stayed
Go in
outside.
the closet.
And then whatever. They maybe she came in through the secret Kennedy door. Remember the Kennedy door, right? They have the Kennedy door. I mean, there's notorious. Oh my God.
The secret Kennedy door. Yeah, he used to bring his chicks in there from
Gee.
Hollywood. What was the?
Oh, I don't know, but he used to bring them into the door, and they had the pool, and they had the interns and the people in the pool, and multiple people and threesomes. And I mean, if we're going to judge presidents based on that,
Hey, what was
Trump
his
would
wife's
actually
name?
probably be okay
What was
because he's not even close to that stuff.
And Jacqueline
You know.
was out there with Onassis on the ship.
I felt sorry for her. That's another person.
I don't.
You know,
That's easy going around with the president of the country than going with Aristotle Onassis, one of the most filthy rich men in the world.
hey, before we get, I'm going to see where we're at on this radio thing.
Hmm.
Super freak. But anyway, before we get too far, I'm going to also mention on the radio, but I wanted to give a shout out, and they're probably all tuned us off by now because I spent some time in Trump country last week, and I was out in Lincoln, Illinois. And while I was in Lincoln, Illinois, I stopped at Lane's Bowling. I'm sorry, it's not Lane. Anyway, it's.
You better get that.
I got to get the name correct. Anyway, I stopped at a bowling alley in Lincoln, and I'm going to look it up because I wanted to say it. Here it is. I wanted to say hi to everybody and do it right, and I'm getting too old to remember.
She forgot where her phone was. It's
I don't
right in
know.
her face.
It's right up here in my face. I'm getting old. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. But Landry's Lanes, I believe it's called. But I just want to make sure I'm giving them the right shout out. I know on the radio I recorded it, so it's right there. And I just wanted to. Hold on, here we go. See, this is fubbing. I'm fubbing the entire radio audience. That's bad, isn't it? I want to say hi to those folks because they were just absolutely wonderful. It's Logan Lanes. That's what it was, Logan Lanes. And it's in Lincoln, Illinois. And if you live anywhere close to there, I'm going to tell you, it is worth the drive. They are absolutely a hoot. And there are a bunch of Trump supporters, I have to tell you that. Whole bunch of Trumpers.
Why?
And I don't know, because they live in the heartland. But the reality of it is they are some of the nicest, most fun people I've ever had the opportunity to hang with, and they were a lot of fun. So I want to say hi to them, give them a big shout out. And I mentioned on the radio side, and I'm going to mention it on this side, Rick the bartender, if you're listening, I want you to buy a round of beer for everybody in that bar and charge it to my brother Jeff.
I thought you were going to say to me. That's wrong.
And charge it to my brother Jeff. And if he refuses to pay, I've got a baby picture of him dressed in Barbie doll clothes.
And
I
you
will
sound like my sister.
And I will send it to the bar. So
my sister called me the other day to say that to me because I was dressed in.
You
No, I'm
just
not gonna
don't get
say.
any nicer than the folks out there. And what a fun bar.
Jesus. Charge it to
I
your
feel like
bro.
flying out there just to go to the bar. It was a hoot.
Just go to the bar
so-
and have fun.
No, it was great. It was a great time. So if you're living out there, you're close to there, stop by, tell them you heard about them on the show, have fun. Anyway, so I'm back to the story. So yeah, the Kennedy door. I mean, look at all these things. I mean, if you're going to judge Trump solely by sexual misconduct,
But
he's actually winning. He's doing okay. He's doing okay.
He's monosexual, though, right?
I don't know about that.
He takes care of himself.
I'm not going to say that's called handsome.
Handsome.
Like threesome, twosome,
And
handsome.
Gotcha. That's not fair because you always call me handsome.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Never
Okay.
mind.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, gosh, some of the other crazy theories that are going to continue is let me go back here. I'm just flipping through this because we've got a whole bunch of these crazy stuff. The one about the lizard people that just won't go away, and the flat earthers, they won't go away, and that they're thinking that the flat earthers is actually going to gain steam this year, and more people are going to start believing in a flat earth.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not believing.
It's got to be
in
related
flat
to the
Earth.
opioid thing.
The
I mean,
opioid. I know. You know what? That's got to be true.
I've never met anybody hooked on heroin. Everybody's supposed to be hooked on heroin. Never met anybody hooked on it. Everybody's supposed to be hooked on opioids. Don't know anybody hooked on an opioid. I'm living a sheltered life. If you're hooked on an opioid, send me one. I mean, oh, Henry, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's just like these drugs. You know, you watch TV and they have all these odd drugs. Zempelon. Take Zempelon for your depression. It may cause side effects such as your arm falling off, your one of your ears turning green, your liver failing, and you may want to jump off a bridge.
No.
You may suicide off a bridge. So don't worry about.
No problem. No, it's like, oh my God, I know. Oh my God.
Is that the opioids they're talking about?
No, that's not an opioid.
What is that?
I don't know what I think they're like Oxycontin and stuff, like pain medicine. You know, you used to get pain medicine when you get hurt. Now it's like you get hurt, you have to suffer in pain. Thanks, addicts. You know?
Just go make out with one.
It's like, oh God, you think with I don't know, it's crazy. And you know, here you have marijuana legal, so it's, you know, really in pain, you can just go there and get some of that. But anyway, the other thing is climatologists are reporting that the climate change is wrecking the planet. We've been hearing that for a long time. And there's a group of climate truthers. That's another new climate truther, another new thing, that believe that the global warming phenomenon we're experiencing is just something that happens every few hundred years. Climate truther Kenneth Richard actually believes the Earth is getting ready to enter into a minor ice age because of the lack of sunspots that have been recorded recently. So there are some people who are taking the opposite view that we're going to go into an ice age versus global warming. But global warming can actually cause an ice age. So it's extreme temperatures, like we'll get really hots and really colds. So when you see a lot of real big extremes, that's the indication that the climate's changing. So there's those climate deniers. And then and also, unfortunately, we've just left this really high period of solar activity, so that kind of makes the climate do funny things. So we'll have to see. Maybe we'll live long enough to know if it's going to be frozen or not.
We do have a news update that we have to go ahead and broadcast at KUHSdenver.com.
Okay, what?
Apparently, there was a boy going down the street on his bicycle when he suddenly burst into flames. More at 9.
Okay.
You bought that. You know.
I'm waiting for the news update. Oh, news update. Okay. Wow, we're like a real person. We got a real station.
It's a real station, but
I know.
I seen it pop up there. It wasn't that. That wasn't the story. It was dead body found near Alameda, and I didn't want to say that.
Well, you know, I guess.
I'm sorry.
A news store? What?
I know.
God.
Okay,
thanks for faking news. That's fake news, though, right?
That's fake news all the way. She bought it.
Hey, some people think the book Fire and Fury. Are you going to read that? I don't know if anybody's going to read it.
I don't know how to read it.
That's true. I forgot. Written by former Trump White House insider Michael Wolff, was actually fake. The Trump people were in on it, and it's just to distract us while they pass a whole bunch more rules that will ruin the country. So there's some people that believe that. And it was also to take the focus off the fact that they're going to try to railroad Hillary Clinton. So there's some.
Are you talking about Hillbeast?
So there's some conspiracy theory about the book, and that it was actually planned by Trump. So that's kind of interesting.
That's scary.
Yeah. Now, much like the flat Earth theory, here's another one that the brain trust of our country came up with. Much like the flat Earth theory, hollow Earth, that the Earth is actually hollow, makes a return to mainstream every few years, and almost as a barometer for how trustworthy people feel their government and the worlds around them are. So, since everybody's feeling nobody's trustworthy, the prediction is that the hollow earth theory will come back. There are a myriad of ways in which the hollow earth theory exists. Some people believe the earth is filled of Nazis, aliens, giants, or an eternal sun.
Jesus.
Or the survivors of Atlantis. They're actually encased in the outer shell of the earth, living this great life in like utopia in the middle of the earth. Okay, there are frequent online talks of taking an expedition to the center of the earth. Ever heard of that?
Yes.
I think, hello. God, Jules Verne really started something, didn't he?
I forgot about Jules Verne. That was some good stuff.
Oh, yeah, all this stuff came true.
Yeah.
It's like the Jetsons. All that stuff came true, too. Usually to the North Pole, they go through the North Pole. That's the thing. But that's never come to fruition. No one's ever been able to really figure out how you could get to the center of the earth and survive it because of the heat and lack of oxygen and maybe lack of space because it actually is a rock. We're living, it's like, hello, we're solid. We're not hollow. So hollow earth. Now, the flat earth conspiracy has been around. We just talked about that a little bit since the 19th century. And I think it's from people who went into comas about 1492. They went into a coma.
Or since early this morning.
They were cryogenics. They were frozen. And they went into a coma and must have come out now. Because
that's me every night. Going to cryogenics. I'm freezing all night, Never mind.
Okay. So anyway, that's still it's making a big comeback among the millennials. Okay, I always knew the millennials were dumb, but this is ridiculous. I'm not kidding. I have a daughter that's a millennial.
Oh yeah, you better.
I have children that are millennials, and they are dumb. So there you go. No, I don't have. Yeah, they're not too bright. What can I say? I love them, but hey, somebody has to work at McDonald's. I can
go for it.
My kids actually they were in a documentary. Both my kids were Children of the Corn. they were featured in it. They were great.
That won an Academy Award, right?
They're grown up now. They're grown up people, and
and that's getting scary for her.
Yeah, I know.
She runs here to KUHS.
What am I going to do? I don't have my children to pick on. I was a domestic goddess when I was raising my children.
What is that?
I mean, we ate dinner at the table every night. We prayed after we ate, though, because I was a bad
Lord have mercy. I used to tell my kids, go dodge semis on the highway, would you, kids? And they would go do it. And then all of a sudden on the news, I hear two semis collide.
Listen, let me tell you something. I was such a bad cook that my kids thought the smoke alarm was a dinner bell. They come running.
It worked,
Here, I'm ready, Mom. Oh, God.
And you're not even done with the food. You can just hear these noises. Where you guys going? Thanks, Mom.
Gone. Yeah, I know. No, anyway, I love my kids. They're brilliant, really. And my younger one is at University of Kentucky, and she's been in the middle of almost finishing up a program where she's going to teach special ed to severe.
And you keep looking at me as you talk like that.
No, making fun.
You're looking at me though.
Well, I'm talking
special
to you.
Ed. I had to go through special ed twice. I finally got through high school.
Good for you. I'll tell you what, 6th grade year was 3 of the best years of my life.
Really?
No, I'm real proud of her. She's getting her degree in special ed for severe and hopes to return to Colorado and teach in the challenge program. And she's the one that sings, by the way. And
you said you were going to have her here and sing. She said
she got too shy.
She didn't seem shy. She was real nice. I think Rhonda says, "You want her to sing?" No. No, she didn't say that. She's
got a song actually that she wrote that I want to talk to you about. We'll talk about it later, but it's for cancer fighters and survivors.
That'd be nice.
And I think that what I want to do is talk about that song a little bit later, another show, but I'll mention it and see if people would like to download it and then donate the money to Camp Wapiapi, which is a camp that sends children facing cancer to summer camp for free here in Colorado, and kids come from all over. So
what a good gesture.
Yeah, I think we should. She wanted
to
do
Rhonda
that.
Isn't all. I mean, she's really a nice person. So don't let all that other stuff.
Not nice. Nope.
Not nice.
Not nice. Nope.
I scared the heck out of her earlier.
She did.
I get everybody. It's Shop Dog got her.
Oh, he got me good. I screamed. I was like, okay.
She shot you with this thing.
Okay, now here's some conspiracy theories, and let me make sure where we at.
You got 9 minutes.
Okay, 9 minutes. Okay. Here's some conspiracy theories that actually prove true, because some of these things end up being true. You think they're going to be fake, and then they're true. One was the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln was not the act of a crazed lone gunman, but an organized conspiracy of 4 shooters to kill the president.
Whoa.
So, and that ended up being true. So that was a theory that people thought was a conspiracy theory back in the day for years and years and years. And they were trying to get the president, the vice president, the secretary of state in one big massive coup. And only John Wilkes Booth carried out his role, which was to kill the president, and the rest of the people chickened out, and they didn't do it. So, but that actually has been proven as a true theory. So that's no longer a fake theory. A secret society made up of Siberian nationals seek to unify various Siberian enclaves, and members of this group conspired to assassinate the Australian Archduke. Their goal was to break off the southern Slavic provinces of Austria and Hungary and create a unified Slavic nation. 6 members traveled to Sarajevo and to carry out the deed, and have been trained and equipped with additional conspirators in the Serbian military. One of them was a student called Gavrilo Princip, and he succeeded in his act, and that is actually what kicked off the First World War.
Wow.
And that was a conspiracy theory and was proven true.
Oh,
And that's
real.
Yeah, isn't that weird? And then the U.S. Department of Treasury, in its capacity to enforce the Volstead Act, added deadly chemicals into industrial alcohol. This is the Prohibition Act, by the way. So alcohol that were being used by bootleggers to substitute for grain alcohol, and they hoped, get this one, to make people sick, and then it would discourage people from drinking the cheap homemade hooch. Instead, over 1,000 people died because of the government's intervention of putting poison into the alcohol, and that was just in New York, just in New York alone, before the practice was stopped. So the government was literally poisoning people for making a bad choice. You know, that's just like tobacco. No, tobacco companies. Yeah, there we go. Tobacco companies knew as early as 1950s, that smoking was directly linked to lung cancer. They said it was a theory, it was a conspiracy theory. They fought it tooth and nail, as we all know. And even before then, in the 20s, a few researchers were publishing studies that theorized the effects of smoking weren't beneficial, but they claimed it was all a conspiracy theory. And finally, of course, we all found out that it was not. It's actually killing people and continues to do so. So a good New Year's resolution: quit smoking.
And the kind of stuff they put in tobacco and cigarettes is crazy.
Formaldehyde.
I mean, more than that.
I know. It's like
all this junk.
It's like, oh my God. And then I don't know.
You're born to breathe air.
Yeah, or marijuana smoke, but not tobacco.
Did you hear about that guy who went on a trip with his wife to a Middle East country, and they were having a good time, and she passed away?
What happened?
Well, what happened was the undertaker told him, he says, for $150, I'll get a real good service and everything and bury her here. But for $5,000, I'll ship her back to the United States. He goes, oh, let me think about that a bit. And he thought. He says, well, I don't think I want to do that. I'll pay the $5,000. You're sure? That's a lot of money just to ship her. He goes, yeah, but I heard there was this guy over here, and he died, and they buried him, but he arose again, and I can't take that chance.
Oh, God. Oh, bad.
That's bad, isn't it?
Bad.
But it works. He didn't want to rise or something.
Jeez. Oh, man, that's bad.
He thought it was going to go into the Jesus.
I was waiting. I'm waiting.
No.
No Jesus jokes. Sorry. Actually, I like Jesus. I just don't like all the things people do that are bad, and they say it's because of him.
Yeah. Yes. I've always.
Jesus is cool. He's like the coolest guy that ever lived.
Yeah, but.
Or died and lived again.
A lot of people put things in the name of Jesus. It's like. These certain people who go on and build these mega churches and
I don't like mega churches.
I know, and they have mega jets and they mega mansions and everything. And Lord, the Jesus will help you, but I can't understand why Jesus can never handle his own money.
Well, he wants me to handle it. So
yeah,
if
so that's
you would like to send some in, I'll take it.
I'll be happy, Jesus.
I'll be helping him out. No, but
that's what they do.
First of all, he didn't want people to have money. He told everybody to give everything they had away. I mean, he's the first socialist. So, I mean, right? Everything, give it away.
I can't disagree because you'll
give
slap me.
Help the people. Give it to everybody who needs it.
Your show.
Share. I mean, he believed in free health care. Look at all the people he healed for nothing. So we got.
Well, I was waiting in the back of the line, way back. I didn't get my turn at being healed.
Oh, please! He would probably have to cast demons out.
Did you know the devil put a restraining order against me? Now that you're saying that.
You've said that before to me,
and you say okay. But you always talk about the demons.
Well, if the devil put a restraining order on you, that means that you're dangerous to the devil, which means you're probably good.
Yes. See. Whew, boy,
There.
see, that was a save if I've ever heard one.
That's right. That's right. No, I
How
actually
much do I owe
don't
you?
be joking about my man Jesus, because I do like
I'm
him.
not joking.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
you look. Oh, see, now she's.
Give me a.
May the power of Christ compel you.
Yeah. Well, did you hate confession? I mean, I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm a retired Catholic. But did you hate confession?
Yeah, you go
And
there.
can you
Bless me,
imagine if
Father,
that
for I
they
have
probably
sinned.
slept. They probably like slept through the whole thing.
No, they
because
didn't. Bless me, Father, for
I have sinned. It's been what?
Yeah.
Like, 47 years since my last confession.
No.
You know.
14 minutes is my last confession. You start talking about, Cindy down the street. He goes, I already got her address. What's her phone number?
Yeah.
I tell you, these priests.
Oh God! But no, I thought confession was like the weirdest thing, and it's like, I mean, can you imagine how many little kids? One time I was going to St. Anne's Catholic School. I guess if we got time to tell the story or not.
Yes, you got 3
Okay.
minutes, 11 seconds.
And I was shooting food, and I shot a thing of spinach, and it hit the Sister Georgiana in the head they wore on the hats then, on the habit, and it was hanging down her, and everyone was afraid that, so no one told on me because they figured she'd kill me. And
She walked around
so
with
they
the
came out
ruler.
and they were like, who did this? And no one said anything. They brought the priest in, and he said, if you know and you don't tell, it's the same as lying. And if you kids go to bed tonight and die,
Oh, shit.
you'll have a mortal sin on your soul, and you'll all go to hell. So no,
Hey.
and so no one's still told. And then the next day, I had confession, because we had confession in church every morning. There was a line of like 37 kids from my class, and every one of them probably in there going, forgive me if I said, I know who hit Sister Georgiana in the head with this spinach, and I didn't tell.
And then you go reprimand them.
Oh God, then you have to pray and say Hail Marys and Our Fathers, and remember.
Now, here's the thing about you're saying throw a Hail Mary in football. I don't understand how come you don't throw an Our Father. Maybe those Hail Marys aren't working. Do some Our Fathers.
Oh, I mean, I'm not making. If you like that religion, then it's great. But
Well,
it just wasn't doing it for me. I
Regis,
can tell you
Jesuit
that.
College,
I know. I went to Catholic school. I know.
What's the difference? I kept going.
Yeah, I know. Well,
That's why I'm so AJ squared away.
I'm smarter than you. I got out
Yeah,
of
by
it
far.
early. It's just a confession thing. I just thought it was weird. And then you always thought you were going to die because, you only go to confession once a week. And if you did, like, I yelled at my mother. Oh, shoot, I'm going to die.
Why were we telling the priest all the girls' names and numbers?
But I just think it'd be like the funniest thing in the world to sit there and do confessions for like 8-year-olds, because they'd be like, I thought my brother was a jerk. I hid my toys under the bed instead of putting them in the box. What could they be confessing? What could they be doing?
And I got my mommy's gun and I was in the backyard shooting pigeons.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Wait, how many times are you supposed to hear? I lied to my mom. I didn't eat all my food on my plate. I hid a toy from my brother. I stole my brother's toy.
I stole the neighbor's peanut butter.
I told my mother my brother did it when he didn't. I mean,
I told on my sister with her boyfriend in the back room. You should see what they were doing. The mattress mambo.
Oh,
Jesus.
I just think it'd be a funny thing to sit there. I think also it'd be funny if a priest had Tourette syndrome.
Tourette syndrome. We're going to return back to the air right now so you can hear.
We're getting ready, right?
What a good time here on WTF with Rhonda Shea.
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
I always like to do this.
I don't know why he does that. It's like, thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to come back next week. And thank you all for tuning in and listening as we ranted this week, because we really went a little bit over the political border, but that's okay. Oh, I shouldn't say over the border. That's not a good thing, isn't it? Over the political wall. I don't know. We went crazy. But anyway, thanks for tuning into the WTF show. Wasn't that fantastic on KUHSdenver.com with Rhonda and Henry? And be sure you tune in. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and we're going to end. I think we have one more song. Is that right?
That's right. No, I think that's it. Yeah,
That's it. We got to play a song.
Yes,
The station's not going dead, right?
No.
You got to play something.
Well, you gotta
okay,
say
now we're going to
something.
dead air.
No, no, we got
He's
any
kidding.
of these old
Pick one.
songs, 70s.
Oh, he's going to play some 70s then. Okay, we'll
When-
get out of the 80s. Just grab that one right there.
Donna
I
Summer.
feel love, Donna Summer. Bye-bye. Take care. Catch you in 2 weeks.
And so that was the end of her show, and we were going to go into DJ Rob Bass and his hip hop and old school show coming up next. Stay tuned. We're going to go only to audio now, and then the Love Doctor follows him from 6 to 8. So
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
You're there. You're still up on your international camera.
I'm up on the international camera.
You want to say?
Bye, guys. Hello.
she forgot.
I forgot about you.
She was over there
It's the time
adjusting
change.
herself like this.
I was not.
I know.
Oh my God. I got nothing to adjust anymore. It just goes where it wants when you get my age. Adjust, you just follow. Where you
See
lead,
ya.
I will follow. Okay. No.
That is Ron Deshay and WTF here on KUHSdenver.com.
Catch you later.